Yes. Well, hello there, friends, and welcome to what we have yet to name. But this is astrology and human design with your gals, T and D, Tara and Dominique. I'm going to introduce you for you. Okay. So we have been percolating and contemplating and having so many juicy conversations, just the two of us. And it's halfway through every conversation, we're like, we should be recording this, but then we don't, because we're like, well, is this of value? And we've decided this is of immense value to anyone on their journey of self-empowerment, self-discovery, and really, stepping into a new, beautiful version of themselves that feels, without using the word authentic, but that really feels them, finally becoming them. So
even a cellular upgrade.
Ooh, a cellular upgrade. Yes.
That's like my new favorite song, my motto.
Yeah, right. The cosmic playlist.
I literally feel that way. I feel like there's been this cellular upgrade within me.
Oh my gosh.
Really powerful. And I know a lot of it comes from our connection every day, almost on the daily, right? Helping each other, evolve,
navigate the storm,
and navigate all this crazy stuff and find these higher frequencies to reside in
100%.
Grounding, so we can really come into our own in this life now with this opportunity.
Definitely. And one of the things that we wanted to just introduce to you today is because we started doing these for the new moon candles back last year. And we have found just such pleasure in doing a connection call. We've been trying to figure out, okay, well, what are we going to talk to people about, or what are we going to connect about? But I think we've decided, or how we've kind of felt like this integrates, is through, the foundation of our work as a team. And while we run our own businesses, we also have this beautiful vision to do some really fun things together. And that feels like so correct for the time that we're in. So before we dive in, we want to kind of share a little bit about, ourselves, where we're coming from, and what we bring together as a team of, cosmic experts.
Yeah.
Star readers, whatever you want to call us. It's fine. We're working on the name. So, we're open to suggestions.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, okay, Dom, so tell us about you, about astrology, about, what kind of got you into it, what turns you on, and where you're at in the evolution of your own business right now.
Oh, wow. I'm going to go.
That was a lot.
Yeah, that's big. That's really big.
She's something to respond to, people. She's a generator here, manifesting generator.
Ask me a question, and it is Sag season, so I'll go big. I'll try and keep it. So yes, I've been a lover of astrology and also a seeker. I'm an Aquarius, so I've been a seeker my whole life, and I've sought answers in a myriad of different places and schools of thought, mystery schools, from, the Kabbalah to different religions. You name it, right? Astrology was the thing that brought it all together, and things just really clicked for me. And I had a capacity to really understand it. And it changed my life. I kind of went on a personal growth journey through my own enlightenment work and knowing myself, right? And then I was like, well, this is amazing. I want to do this. And it became a passion of mine. And I started really slow about 15 years ago. I studied for about 5 years, and then I was doing readings slow and slow. And then of course I had my son. I got married, had a child, and that just kind of shifted everything, because I was like, oh my God, I can know this for my kid and understand how we operate differently and how to really cultivate this beautiful little spirit and to be all he can be. And so my energy shifted towards astrology for parenting, which I've realized it's not popular. It's not as popular. There's actually a lot of sort of trepidation about getting into doing child's charts. And I think it can be done in a really really respectful, honorable way, without boxing in a child, and not looking at it from a place of boxing in a child, but from understanding them energetically and differently from us so that we can really nurture them and on our own personal growth journey. So I want to elevate that, you know, and be sort of a pioneer in that area, because like it helps the whole family, you know, our relationships with our family, our husband, our partners, and then the kids. So that became a driving passion for mine over the course of the last 10 years. My son's almost 11. So, but my journey never ends in terms of wanting to transform and grow and evolve. And so with everything I learn, it helps me know myself better, go deeper. And when I met you in 2020, right, when like the world was like,
the world was imploding.
It was like, it really allowed me, in learning about human design, I was like, ooh, I just got chills. And learning about human design, it brought in another level that I had learned a little bit about human design and gotten a tease of it, you know, but I didn't really tap in until I met you. And I realized what a unique thing it brought. You know, it was like learning how things actually manifested in my body. And as an air person, as someone who's very cerebral, you really helped me drop into my physical body and really start to embody things the way I'd always wanted to. And it's been powerful knowing you and learning from you to take my work and really make it, you know, integrate it and empower myself. That's allowing me to be even more of a better astrologer, teacher, mother, wife, you know, I was about to say husband, that too, all the things. And just, I'm going through my own sort of rites of passage, but I feel like bringing the astrology and human design together and how beautiful it can be. And all the calls that we've had so many amazing nuggets that were like, oh, well, what about this? What about this? And we'd love to go on these discovery dives with other people to really help share what we're learning from each other and together in some like really fun and creative way. And knowing you and this last year and a half has changed my life. And you're like a soul sister, and I adore you. And I've learned so much from you. And it's only helped me take my life and my own business to the next level. And I'm grateful. And so I can't wait to see what happens.
This is so like, I feel all the same feels and everything. I can just say, yeah, is that how we feel? Yeah. So for me, like my journey started, I mean, I've been an esoteric dabbler for a very long time. In my, you know, late teens, I was curious about all the metaphysical things like stones and crystals, you know, were probably the first things, and you know, just like feathers and angels and, you know, all the things. I lost my grandma when I was 8, and I kind of like felt this energy from her, and still to this day do. I swear she's saved my rear end on many occasions. But anyways, I then in my early 20s found astrology. I had a Reiki practitioner who I would go to see for body work, because I've been doing body work forever, and it helped to change the energy, you know? So I've been kind of on that path since then, learning and growing. But really, when I was introduced to astrology, I was like, this is so cool. But it was all about like your sun sign. It wasn't really, you know, I didn't really get the depth of the depth. And I had gone for a really powerful reading before I opened my yoga studio. And it kind of like, my eyes open to what was more possible, that I was just like, oh my God, I'm playing so small. Like, what am I doing? Let's go bigger. Right. And it blew the doors off my business then. And it, you know, continued to grow and was really great. So I would once, you know, when I felt like things were getting a little funky is when I would go to astrology, right? And be like, okay, I need another reading because things are getting weird. And that's what it was. Yeah. But, you know, fast forward when 2019 kind of came through and I went through a whole physical transformation, I found human design. And for me, it was like astrology is to you. It just kind of like, when astrology just blew the door off, I feel like HD blew my whole head off my body, because I was like, whoa. This is how people are meant to be moving in the world. And then I just went like deep and dark because I had to get to the depths. And I'm still like, I'm sure I'm still in the depths, and I'll probably be there for the rest of my life. But, you know, the learning and growing is part of who I am and how I'm designed to be. You know, I'm an explorer and experimenter, and I like to learn all the things. But in that discovery, it's like I'm unpacking things I packed away. There were, you know, boxes in my lifetime where I was like, I did music, and then it was like a colossal disaster. And I tanked my finances trying to make it happen because the Nike Just Do It is there. And God knows I'm a manifestor, so I should be able to make this happen. And so I pushed and pushed and pushed until everything just, you know, blew up. And so when that happened for music for me, I just like packed it in a little pretty box and shoved it way, way down into the depths of the depths. And I never looked at it again. I really didn't even play in it just for fun. So now what's coming forward, I'm learning more about like sound healing and vibrational work. And it's like calling forward that little box that's been buried away. And, you know, I'm just letting it open and uncover in a very new, natural, easy way, because I'm uncovering more about my own Venus energies and learning about the Venus star, which has really opened up the doorway even further into astrology, because human design is a combination of astrology, Eastern and Western astrology, the Eastern and Western chakra system, the I Ching, astrology, the Judaic Kabbalah, and it's just like all the things, right? It's a lot. Yeah. But what's beautiful about that is it helps us integrate more of who we are. And through that learning, you know, when Dom and I met, it was in 2020. So like I had my Uranus opposition. For those of you who haven't had that, brace yourselves. You're going to feel like you're attached to
I'm a few years older than Tara, so I've been through that one.
Like OMG is all I can say about that. So imagine, Nick, you go through this, you know, Uranus opposition, not to go too deep in this, but you need to know this information. If you're like, I feel like I'm attached to a battery, that like you're short circuiting all the time, or you just want to blow things up, you know, Facebook, don't shut us down for that comment either. I was just joking. But it literally is like the most electrifying experience of your life, and you just kind of want to run away. That's my experience. So I was like, remember what I said, when I go down to the depths, I'm like, astrology, save me. So I reached out to actually another girl that I was following on YouTube, who sent me to Dom. Yeah, Molly McCord. If you've not listened to her YouTube videos, go listen to her YouTube videos. Anyways, and she referred me to three different astrologers. And I went onto their websites and I was like, this one, she looks cute. She has a lovely family. And I love the way her vibe was on her site. That attracted me right away. And here's what's interesting, folks. So when I was saying this to Dominique is, when you look at your VSP, and we're going to talk a little bit about this as we grow and learn together, but your Venus star point is a critical point in your chart that teaches you like where all your gifts are, all your gems are, the most beautiful expression of the person, the woman, the feminine energy you're here to share. It's like, you don't need to find this. It's like, you just need to express this. Anyway, so mine is at 27 Gemini. What's fascinating is when I hit pay, and I paid for the session with Dominique, I paid for that on August the 4th of 2020. Well, transiting Venus, the planet was sitting on my Venus star point. Then we didn't book our reading until August the 12th, and my North Node was sitting, the transiting North Node was sitting on my Venus star point. Hello.
Destiny.
Thank you, astrology. Thank you for showing up. Never lets you down. And it's interesting because it's always in hindsight where you're like, holy crap,
Yeah.
Why didn't I know that at the time? You know, but it's very cool. Anyway, so we've just talked a lot. Hope you guys really enjoy.
Yeah. It's just to validate. I mean, you validate, and when you meet someone and you feel like a connection, you're not sure. Like,
oh yeah, right away we're like, okay, let's talk tomorrow.
Yeah, you're like, there's a reason there, and chances are you could look to the astrology, and there would be proof. There would be evidence
always
of the connection. And so I think it allows us to have more faith and trust in that which we cannot see, working within and around us. It gives us something, and that's what I loved about astrology is I could look at it on paper, and I could see, and then I could integrate. You know.
It gives you validation.
Absolutely.
The same thing with your human design chart. It's like, oh, you know, here's where there's part of you that's missing a connection, but you'll get it when things transit. So it's not, even though, you know, so let's actually talk about what we've kind of come to integrate in our own brains and bodies about how these two, you know, really work very powerfully and intimately together is that astrology gives us the house, the foundation, the bones, the structure. So when you look at a house being built, the first thing is the blueprint. Yeah. Okay. Then they start laying the foundation, you know, then go up the walls. I'm not a builder. I'm not going to go into like the whole thing. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah.
All the meat and potatoes. Yeah. Right. But then with human design, it is like, it's all the like, ooh, what kind of wallpaper do I want on this wall? How, you know, what kind of like lighting do I want? What kind of like decor do I want? It gives you the expression and it's how you move in the home, right? So it's like, how are you designed to flow through this beautiful structure? Like, here's what you're working with. Here's what you're working with fundamentally with the astrology. Yep. Now, how do you want to live in that home? Where do you want to let yourself be more free, or you're holding yourself back, or you've blocked some things away, or it's that closet that you never want to open because you're afraid it's just going to go boom and totally blow you up, right? So that's what we kind of feel like how we can teach it to you in the most simple, basic, fun, engaging way.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Do you want to add to that?
Well, yeah, because I think that, the astrology what came to me when you were saying that was we talk about the different bodies, you know what I mean? The emotional and energetic and I feel like there's like, in a way, the astrology is like our container, you know what I mean? It's our framework and our blueprint, but we have also a divine expression and energy, and we can actually, when we bring those two together, we can actually have more choice and more freedom to feel validated and strong and powerful in what we know of ourselves. And then we move through the world and in our lives from that place, and the frequency resonates beyond and then affects and helps other people. You know, I've come to this place where, you know, you always want to, as an Aquarius, like, how can I change the world? How can I help? Right. But it starts with me. It starts here, and not in a capital S selfish way, but not in a lower, a capital, you know what I mean? And so it's like, fix myself to fix the world, right? That's our Gemini Brett theme. And the growing through what you go through so that you can really be effective in your life. And I think that finding useful ways of using this energy, knowing ourselves and operating in the world, is how we make change ultimately and engage with others. And so I feel like because we've been able to do that with and for each other, we see a nugget here of something beautiful that we can help other women do, you know?
Our lives. Okay, let me just like backtrack. Like, honestly, from like 2020, August, things were starting to unravel. And like, I'm not going to say things are like normal now, because they certainly aren't, never mind the world, but like personal lives, you know, but as we navigate, we can see what's coming now. Between each other, we look and we're like, what's going on today? Things are feeling a little like.
And I think that's the thing too, the transits, right? Like most of the time when I'm doing astrology readings, people are like, what's happening? What's happening
What's
now?
happening now?
Right. And so I'm looking at the transits and I'm looking at their charts and I'm explaining and giving them support in terms of how this energy current is impacting them or influencing them or challenging them, things they're working through. And the cool thing about human design is that it allows you to tap into that actual like energetic field of how you can best navigate and where in your body you could be holding or feeling stress or pain. Like that's the cool thing to me, the whole chakra system and the centers and where in your body you have that fear and how it manifests. Like it just takes it to this rich level. Yeah, I'm looking at spheres and Saturn, but if I look at where those are in my body and how I feel, that's the magic I think that human design brings in. And everybody
so many layers,
together.
so many levels. And this is the coolest part about us learning how to, first of all, communicate, like, what am I feeling? What am I experiencing? What's transiting and what's happening? And now how do I want to choose to engage with that energy so that I'm not allowing myself to get sucked down the drain? Like I like to think of it as, you know, it is not that you should not be emoting the things, because that's part of allowing yourself to be human and to go through experiences. And it's also like, as part of your Venus energy, she's just like encouraging you to do and feel all of it, but to not let it take you into the depths without knowing that's where you're going. Do you know what I mean? Like you can either set the temperature for your day on a thermostat, or you can be the thermometer, which bobs up and down all day with all the emotions and all the things and not know what's up. Or you can set the temperature to be like, listen, this is where I want to be. I know I'm going to move up and down a little bit, but I have more control because I understand myself more. And when I'm out of whack, I can reset myself.
Yes.
Right.
And the grounding is so powerful because we're so like in the cosmic and we get all heady. We love this stuff and we love to go high, but we recognize in our work, okay, let's ground. We're always talking
physical.
Like, let's ground. Let's
physical
ground. We have to be grounded in order to really like connect and use that energy in a positive way. Otherwise you're just spinning and flying around, you know?
And a lot of the talk, like you'll notice this, a lot of people who are sharing this beautiful cosmic information is coming from such a high level place that you're like, what? I don't even know what that means, you know? And it's like, let's keep it very simple here. Like, this is how you may feel today, physically, energetically, emotionally, spiritually, or mentally. Like to me, there are 5 bodies. Most people talk about 3, you know, physical, mental, emotional, I think are the main. We're glitching out a little bit. Do you notice that glitch, or is it just
no?
Okay, maybe it's just me. Could be. But what we really feel like we can help with is, I mean, teaching you the basics, but also like giving you the next level. So it's not just about like, hey, here's your cool blueprint. This is how you're designed to be in your foundation and in your expression. But it's like, now you're going to get hit with different things every single day. How do you navigate that?
It's like being guides on the journey as you're learning so that you can integrate the stuff on a daily basis. You know, when you're having an issue.
We're in it too.
Yeah.
We're living it too.
Yeah. I mean, because we'll get on with like, what's going on today? I feel this way or that. And then we look and we're like, oh, okay. And we always find some amazing nugget and we are able to support each other through a tough day or a stressful time or, you know, some circumstance that's happening in our lives. And so we want to create a container or a home or a base where we can really share that and offer something tangible that they can work with in a moment, you know?
And you want us in your corner, let me tell you, because you've never met 2 people that research more than, like, I'm a 5-1, she's a 1-4. Like we go deep, deep, deep before we share. Like we got so much going on back here, but
it's almost too much.
Never too much.
Well, you know, we have to organize our things. Like we're like, okay, this is, you know, if I have a question, I then think, oh, well, we should actually talk about this and share this with other people because I'm sure other people have the same question, you know? And so I'd love to know like the best container, the best way to like create a space where we can really connect with people, or I should say other women.
We're just going to do it. We're not even going to question it. We're just like, we're going. So we
Yeah.
just decided we're going to start here.
Introduce ourselves,
bring forward, some juicy stuff, some juicy ways for you to learn more about how to take all this big, powerful information and bring it in more to yourself to make, your life easier.
Yeah.
Really what it is.
And find more joy along the journey.
Yes.
Through the struggle.
Pleasure. We want you to feel like
just
fun.
Yeah.
Celebration, creativity, expression, and less holding yourself back or boxing up that thing that was so painful and shoving it down so deep that it just comes out one day and it's like,
yeah. I mean, I think that the highest frequency, we keep saying that the highest frequency is love, and it keeps coming up, in love and frequency and energy. And I think that we together create a little higher frequency, and we always look to love and
vibration
together. And so it's like, we want to bring that loving frequency, and I'm all about nurturing astrology. I'm a Cancer rising. I am a nurturer, and I'm motherly to a fault sometimes, but I am a nurturer, and I want to show how I've learned to nurture myself and my family and create, a blessed life. I feel very blessed, and I want to help women and families, or women really feel empowered as the leaders of their families.
Maybe we should just, before we're gonna, close it out today, let's talk. Tell me about your sun, moon, and rising, and your HD type.
Ooh. Okay, so I'm an Aquarius sun, I am a Cancer rising, and I am a Libra moon, and system going on here. And then I'm a manifesting generator, right? So what I understand myself to be in terms of like this natural motherer, I definitely relationships, and I need peace and harmony in my relationships with a Libra moon. I want to accommodate and be fair and good. I want harmony. But with this Aquarius energy, I love to explore all the realms. I love to, this is my unconventional way of being like a family counselor in a way. You know what I mean? It's like using this unconventional tool to help families and moms. And then with my HD, when I learned about this, having to sort of my strategy and having to wait to respond, or like how to ask those questions, that questions, and like really tap in, it helped me because I'm always up here and I'm uncertain and I have all these choices and thoughts. And
her authority is sacral, for those of you who are like
sacral. But what is the response is frustration. So I would get angry if I, when I can't seem to make a decision or move things forward. And then sacral, it was like, oh, let me check in, and you would ask me questions, you would go through the thing where you ask me questions, so I could kind of go, yeah, I guess I don't want that. Or yeah, I want that.
I was like, I'm so jealous because it's so easy for these.
I know, it's like the simplest thing that you taught me that I can use on a daily basis, and that was groundbreaking for me. So, and then where in my body things were, where my fear was, and then also empowering, like, I have Saturn and Taurus. So Saturn can be restriction. Taurus is the Venus and the voice even. And so finding my own voice, right, is really been powerful. And so learning that I don't have this connection.
You see how she can't just answer this question. Sun, moon, rising, and what's your HD? Now we're into Saturn and Taurus. People are like, what?
That's my Aquarius in the 8th house. I go further. I can't
bring her back in. Okay. Thank you for your answer.
You're welcome. More to come on that, because that's, what I do.
Oh my gosh.
What about you? What about you? Do you know your sun, moon, and rising?
Let's see.
I know you know your HD, girlfriend.
So my sun is Sag. So I'm all about going big or going home. I go, too big, sometimes ruled by Jupiter, which is technically in Taurus, which is also Venus. All of my planets lead back to Venus. I'm just going to put Visa. All my planets lead back to Visa. That is probably also true. Okay. Moon is in Scorpio and I'm a Libra rising. Just going to leave that there. And I'm a manifester, a splenic manifester. So my pulse to move comes from the root, and that is a lifelong lesson.
Yeah.
It's not funny.
Yeah.
All of my planets lead back to Visa.
You went beyond to Visa as well.
Oh my God. Okay. So listen,
hard. That's the problem and I think that's the thing that becomes overwhelming for people really fast is that sun sign astrology is great, but it is like, there's just way so much more. And so it can be a lot. So I think it's of having a way for us to hopefully create bite-sized pieces to really help people. And for, my community, like what my first priority is to get Tara to come and talk about the power of understanding the types for our children. Because I know a lot of moms are already into human design and already know a little bit about it. And so I want to utilize her to integrate the power of understanding that for our children. So I know that will be one topic of discussion that we will get into in this partnership,
whatever we're calling it. We're not sure yet, but I also want to introduce you all before we check out, because we just went up to, I don't know where we went. So we're going to bring us back down by grounding us to the Earth's frequency. So before we close off today, we're going to ground into the Earth and open up our hearts with Venus. So just take a couple deep breaths. Let your shoulders come down and away from your ears, soften your face, and let yourself settle in. Be open to whatever comes. And now let's just call in your Venus energy, your Venus vibes, before we set you loose on the world.
Did you do Venus?
Not yet.
Oh, good. That's what I want.
Okay, you ready? Brace yourselves. Let her rise up in you, my friends, and embrace your Venusian vibes today as you go out into the world thinking about what you're about to learn with us, what you're about to embark on. And we are so excited to be with you on your journey, walking with you shoulder to shoulder to the next level of you. So we're signing off for today. Thank you so much for being with us. We're so grateful you're here. And let us know how this landed for you. Let us know what you love the most. And get
into the most,
Oh, yeah, we're going to just give you all kinds of things to say yes to. Okay, people, thank you so much. From Dominique and I, signing off.